Hey, Next 50, Valerie here with another episode and how to hack your age. And because this is a chai chat, grab yourself a cup of chai or a cup of coffee as we talk about active aging. Now, in the last chai chat found here on the Patreon page, I talked about how it's never too late to regain and or maintain health, and I explained that there, so be sure to go back there. Today, I want to talk about being fit for life. And I want to start with a quote by John F. Kennedy, who said, "We are under-exercised as a nation. We look instead of play. We ride instead of walk. Our existence deprives us of the minimum of physical activity essential for healthy living." I personally am keenly interested in aging well, and you should be as well. But it's more than simply picking up a set of dumbbells. We need to educate ourselves with the most current information on health and wellness. Dr. C. Everett Koop, the former Surgeon General of the United States, said, "No prescription is more valuable than knowledge." Now, the foundation of these chai chats is to relate that the knowledge prescription is directed to you specifically living in the next 50 years of life. Now, certainly aging is inevitable, but how we age is becoming more a matter of lifestyle choices. As we grow older as Americans, that choice is worthy of some serious consideration. For example, in 1880, only 3% of the American population was over 65. Fast forward 100 years, in 1980, and 11% of the American population is 65 and older. Based on this projection and the inroads of discovery in health and wellness, it has been projected that by 2050, 20% of the American population will be 65 and older. Now, part of this projection is based on what Dr. Koop called the knowledge prescription, which means more of us are choosing healthy lifestyles, from exercise to nutrition to mindfulness, that we are actually using these tools to reset our biological clock. Now, historically, the ancient Hindus and Greeks said that man's natural lifespan was 120 years. Many scientists today now believe this is potentially possible. And movement is the key. As Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said, walking is man's best medicine. Now, to be clear, we each are individuals, which is more than the experience that has sculpted our identity, but has impacted the speed and extent to which we have aged. For example, osteoporosis, poor posture, weak muscles. These are all considered normal effects of aging, no kidding. And then you have the healthy effects of aging, which are quite different. So, for example, all those normal effects of aging, those can be delayed through exercise, nutrition, and mindfulness. This means that those normal effects like osteoporosis, poor posture, weak muscles, and the like are brought about by inactivity, which means they can be reversed. It is a stereotype to consider those living in their next 50 years of life as frail or incapable of health and vitality or unable to exercise or eat right. This negative imagery must be replaced mindfully with images, with self-images of healthy adults who are actively aging. We can even go so far as replace senior citizen with active ager. Now, In my experience as a fitness and yoga instructor, older clients are treated differently in an exercise class. They're treated with kid gloves, which only hurts them because it excludes you from learning about and becoming the healthiest and fittest version of you. Now, mind you, there is no magic pill here. All the science supports and proves that aging can become active aging, extending not just one's lifespan, but extending your health span. So yes, exercise, nutrition, and mindfulness are important every day. So instead of looking at aging as something bad, realize that we all begin to age from the moment of conception. This is why you often hear me say, all of life is change. And you also hear me say, you've been changing since the moment of your birth, so you should be good at it by now. Now, back to normal aging. Various organs and systems begin to display deterioration. This can manifest as heart disease, arthritis, elevated blood pressure, and low back problems, for example. Then there is the decrease in hormone production from the ovaries and the glands, from the immune function, and the elasticity of muscles and skin, making the phrase use it or lose it both real and immediate. So several studies and surveys have revealed that us, the next 50s, our greatest concern right now is losing our independence, even more so than the fear of dying. Well, exercise, nutrition, and mindfulness help prolong our independence, as well as slowing down the progression of those normal aging conditions. So back to science. It has been shown that a lack of regular exercise is one of the factors that significantly increases the probability of hospitalization in people over the age of 65. So yes, aging is inevitable, but being feeble and frail is not. Now, when I talk about active aging, let's look at inactive or unsuccessful aging, which is mostly the result of abuse, disuse, and misuse of the body and mind. To be clear, many of the major disabilities associated with aging, such as a loss of cardiovascular fitness, decrease of muscle mass, reduced bone mass, glucose intolerance, diminished immune function, and intellectual function loss, can be reversed or prevented by becoming involved in a regular and comprehensive exercise, nutrition, and mindfulness program. And though that may sound far-fetched, it's not. Again, this statement is based on scientific study. So let's back up a bit and look at our perspective. With the biases that are part of our daily society, namely that old age equals sickness and frailty, and that youth equals health and vitality. Ideas like this become roadblocks into our acceptance of new ideas and new approaches to life and living. This negative speak and negative think will diminish your motivation and zest for life. There are places in the world today, often referred to as the blue zones, where people regularly live with full health and mental acuity into their 90s and beyond. Again, society holds the negative stereotypes, so it falls on us as active agers to shatter those stereotypes. For example, Old does not equal frail and sickly. Aging is not senility. Old age does not mean less productive. Old does not become resistant to change. Aging is simply not uniform. It is not a singular outcome for all people living in their next 50. Mostly in America today, most next 50 rust out before they wear out. As a health and wellness coach, I'm personally interested in keeping my gears well oiled and teaching you how to do the same. Now, I know several of you have heard me mention ageism, and perhaps I've lightly chided you for thinking that way. But again, it's society that dictates many of our thoughts and deeds. As a health and wellness coach, I'm not trying to convince you of youth, but the reality of active and functional fitness while in the next 50 years of life. Part of that includes changing how you think. The very stereotype that senior citizens are frail, that elderly people are incapable of health and vitality, those are negative thoughts and stereotypes. We need to replace those with positive images of people in their next 50, healthy, vibrant, active, aging adults. I just celebrated my birthday, and I literally spent the day in self-reflection of looking back the road that I have traveled, of being present where I currently am, and being overall comfortable in my own skin. I refuse to allow society via media and marketing to pressure me into feeling bad about who I am right now at this remarkable period of my life. Again, aging is individual. None of us age the exact same way. Aging is influenced by our environment and genetics, but most immediately, on a daily basis, it's influenced by your lifestyle. Dr. John Rowe, a gerontologist, wrote, "The impact of chronological aging has been overemphasized, and a substantive portion of the physical changes we consider natural to aging are actually due to lack of exercise, poor diet, and bad habits. Based on current findings, it's reasonable to believe that a healthy lifestyle may set back the biological clock or at least slow it by as much as 40 years." Because this is a long topic, I'm going to stop right here and I will continue Fit for Life in part 2. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay whole next 50.